Welcome, Radiant Soul. Something just finished, and before the sound of it could even land, you were already moving toward the next thing. The applause happened, and some part of you was already 3 steps past it, calculating what comes next. There's an old ledger inside of you, the one you've been making payments on for years. In every finished thing, every box checked, every proof stacked high enough to reach the sky. This is the ledger closing, not because you have finally done enough to settle it, but because it was never the kind of debt doing could pay off. Now, this is not a meditation to help you rest so you can produce more tomorrow. This is for the part of you that already did enough a long time ago and never got the memo. If that part of you is listening right now, somewhere underneath your ribs, it's already loosening its grip, the way a hand finally unclenches once it realizes nothing more needs to be held. You will receive only what your soul is ready for in this activation, no more and no less. So let your body find a place to be held now, either seated or lying down, wherever you can soften completely. Let your eyes close whenever they're ready. Take a breath here. Breathe in. And let the exhale stretch longer than the inhale. Again, breathe in. And release. One last time to fully arrive. Breathe in. And let it all go. This is an attunement, so before we begin, I'll ask for your permission. If you're open to receiving whatever comes through this activation today, whatever healing, light codes, or Reiki energy is meant for you, please say yes in your mind's eye now. Good. Let's begin by bringing you home. So much of your attention is already somewhere ahead of you, in the next thing, the next deadline, the next box waiting to be checked, calling you forward before this moment has even finished happening. Gently call it back. Every thread of your focus returning to you now, settling into your own body like light coming home at dusk. Breathe in. And release longer on this exhale. And as you continue to breathe, let me name something you may have carried so long you stop noticing its weight. The habit of moving on before anything gets to land. The reflex that turns the page on a win before you've even finished reading it. You learned somewhere that pausing to feel it was a luxury or a risk or simply not the point. You don't have to hold any of that here. With your next exhale, let your jaw soften. Let your shoulders drop just slightly away from your ears. And let your feet, or wherever your body meets the earth right now, grow heavy. Let gravity do something for you for once, instead of the other way around. Let your awareness settle into your root now, the base of your body, the seat of safety itself. Before anything else opens today, this is where we begin. Not the achieving, not the proving. This, the ground, holding you, asking nothing of you in return. And into that grounded stillness, I begin to flow the Reiki. Warm, unhurried, it moves wherever it's needed, asking nothing of you, expecting nothing back. You don't have to do a thing. You only have to let it in. As the field opens, you already know we're not alone in it. We're going to call in the ones who come to do this work with us. First, we call on Artemis, sovereign and wild knowing. She is the one who walks her own path through the trees, through the forest, while everyone else follows the road. She comes now for the part of you that sensed, long before you had words for it, that something about the grind was never going to deliver what it promised. You were not wrong. You were early. Feel her draw close, steady and unbothered, the way the moon doesn't apologize for waxing and waning on its own time. We call on Ma'at, keeper of truth, keeper of order. She is the one this ledger has always belonged to. Hers is the scale that weighs a single heart against a single feather. Nothing more added, nothing more required. She comes to name a story you were handed a long time ago. The one that said, enough effort always pays off, as exactly what it was. Not a law of the universe, a lie dressed up as law. we call on Frigg, keeper of the hearth and home. She holds a kind of safety that was never built, only belonged to. Not the safety you assemble plank by plank with your own two hands, exhausted and alone, the other kind. The kind that was simply there, waiting the whole time you were busy trying to earn it. And beneath all three, we welcome the Oversoul of Aureya, holding the whole field steady. The current that remembers what none of us were ever really taught, that this was never something to achieve, only something to receive. Ma'at steps forward now, and with her, the scale. Picture it simply, two pans suspended in perfect stillness. On one side, a single feather, light enough to be lifted by a sigh. And on the other side, nothing. Because that's part of the old story that was never true. You believed something needed to be placed there to balance it. A finished thing, a box checked. Enough proof, finally, to make the scale hold steady. But the scale was never asking for that. It was only ever asking one question. Is the heart light enough to be honest? Light enough to set down what it's been carrying? That's the entire test you've been failing yourself on, for nothing. Before we set anything down, let's honor what it built. The achieving was never foolish. It was a strategy, and a good one, for someone who needed to be needed to be sure of their place, needed proof they could hold on to when nothing else felt solid. That part of you was working hard to keep you safe. Hold it gently now, the way you hold the hand of someone who's been working too long without rest. Compassion first, always compassion first, for the one who built all of this, trying to protect you. Now bring your awareness to your solar plexus, just beneath your ribs, the engine that has driven so much of that doing. Invite it, just for now, to idle. It doesn't have to drive anything in this moment. It can simply run warm and quiet while we look at what it's actually been chasing all along. And in the quiet, let this settle in. My heart was already light enough. Now Artemis draws closer. Think of every moment you tried to make the grind work, and it simply didn't, no matter how precisely you followed the formula you were handed. Work harder, produce more. It will pay off eventually. You did the math more than once, and the numbers never lied to you, even when the story insisted they would eventually if you kept going. Here's what Artemis wants you to feel all the way into your bones. That wasn't failure. That was perception, sharp and accurate and sovereign, picking up on something true long before your mind had caught up enough to explain it. You weren't behind. You weren't broken in this system. You were early, sensing the edges of a system that was never built to deliver what it promised anyone. Feel that recognition move up from your solar plexus toward your heart now, like sap in a tree rising toward the light. The same intelligence that built the doing also built the noticing. Both were always you. Both were always trying to protect you. Let yourself release a belief that you may not have even known you were carrying. I release the story that says I was supposed to make a broken system work for me. Frigg arrives now, quiet, the way someone arrives when they've already decided to stay. Bring to mind gently all of the ways that you built your own safety with your own two hands. Every piece assembled alone, because somewhere along the way, you learned that's simply what had to happen if it was going to happen at all. No one was coming. So you became the one who came. And it worked. And it may have been more exhausting than you ever let yourself feel as well. Frigg offers a different texture of safety now. Not the kind you built, the kind you belong to. Hearth safety. The kind that was simply there, holding steady, whether or not you'd done anything yet to deserve a seat by the fire. Let your heart soften toward this possibility, even if it feels unfamiliar. Even if some part of you is certain it still has to keep building. You don't have to dismantle anything right now. Just let this other kind of safety stand quietly nearby so your body knows it exists. And let your awareness drop back down to your root, just briefly, the ground that's been holding you this entire time. Feel the floor still there. Feel that you are still held even in this softening. And now, something is allowed to return. The applause, the recognition, the moment that already happened more than once, that you walked past on your way to the next thing. Let it come back now, slower this time. Let yourself actually be in the room for it. Feel it arrive at your heart, not as something to evaluate or file away, but as something to simply receive, the way sunlight doesn't have to be earned by the ground it lands on. Underneath the applause, feel what it was always pointing toward. Not the achievement itself, something simpler. Being seen, mattering just as you are, not for what you produced. Being chosen the way you choose someone, not because of their resume, but because of who they are when nothing is being proven. Let that land now all the way into your chest, into the soft place behind your breastbone. Let your body register it as real. Let it become evidence, cellular and lasting, that you don't have to do anything else for this to be true. And if it feels good, repeat after me in your mind's eye. I am seen. I matter. I am chosen. Not because of what I've done, because of who I am. Now picture an ordinary day, sometime soon. Nothing special about it necessarily, no milestone, no occasion, just an ordinary day in your one ordinary life. Picture yourself finishing something, small or large, it doesn't matter. And to watch what happens next in this version of you, in this future already living somewhere inside you. You don't reach immediately for the next thing. You let yourself stay a beat longer. You let it land. Maybe you even rest after, simply because you want to, Not because you've earned the right to, not because the next thing has shown up yet. Notice how strange that might feel at first, and how true it could become with practice. Rest is not the prize you receive after enough proof has piled up. Rest is allowed simply because you are a person and people need rest. Let this new agreement we'll repeat together settle now. Low in the belly, into the same root that's been holding you the whole time. I do not have to earn the right to stop. I do not have to earn the right to be seen. I was already worth choosing before I built anything at all. Here's the truth this whole transmission has been circling. The one Ma'at's scale has been holding the entire time. The chase was never about the achievement. It only ever looked that way because achievement was the only language you'd been taught to ask for the real thing inside of. What you were actually asking for, underneath every finished thing, every box checked, was safety. Was mattering. It was about being chosen. Let that truth move now from your mind down into the rest of you, past understanding, into the cells, into the bones, into the parts of you that have been doing the asking all along. Let it root through the base of your body like warm gold settling into the earth, steady as the ground itself. You do not need another ledger. You do not need another scale. You were already light enough. Begin to feel the weight of your body again. The surface beneath you, holding you up the way it's been holding you up this entire time, long before you ever did anything to earn it. Let the Reiki pool now in your lower body. In the soles of your feet. roots of warm gold moving down, anchoring this new ground into the ordinary, into your actual life, the one you're about to walk back into. Take a fuller breath in and exhale. And another. Breathe in and release. Let a little movement return now. Your fingers, your toes, and gently, just here, let your shoulders roll once. The old weight finally allowed to shift. Come back slowly. And as you return, we send a quiet thank you to Artemis, who named your perception sovereign instead of broken. To Ma'at, who held the scale and showed you it was never asking you what you thought it was. To Frigg, who offered a safety that was never yours to build alone. And to the Oversoul of Aureya, who held the whole field steady beneath every part of this. Radiant soul, hear this before you open your eyes. The ledger is closed. Not because you finally did enough, but because it was never a debt doing could settle. Efforting alone is not where it is. You're allowed to let things land. You are allowed to rest without earning it. You are always already worth choosing. Now remember, you can return to this transmission whenever you need it. It will meet you at a new layer each time, a little deeper, a little more settled into the body. And if today opens something in you that wants more than a single moment to live in, this is exactly what Return to Flow was built for. A 21-day Aureya activation, daily ground for this new agreement to stand on until receiving fully and resting fully stop feeling like things you have to earn and start feeling like the most natural thing in the world. You'll find it at manifestdifferently.com/flow or in a link in the description below. If it's yours, you won't have to push toward it. You'll feel the steady yes in your body, so trust that. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back, Radiant Soul.